and welcome to the Scary Goals Club. I am your host, Hazel Robertson, and I believe that to make the impact that you know you are called to make in the world, it requires setting bigger, scarier goals and then becoming the person who creates them. That is what I am here to show you how to do. That's what we're diving into with mindset, tools, tricks, really simple, practical, actionable steps you can take and start applying straight away. Because whatever you believe, we have this one life that we definitely know about. Start making the impact you know you want to make in the world. Fear is not a reason to stop. We keep going. We work through the fear. That is what we do in the Scary Goals Club. So come on in, come join, hit subscribe, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome to the Scary Goals Club podcast. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are and whatever you're up to. It is so amazing and sunny here. I almost didn't go for a run this morning because I started like a little bit later and was like, oh, the old like, oh, I don't have time for a run. I was like, wait. And I know that like I get so many ideas on my run and like I just feel so much better and the rest of the day flows. And it's almost like spending time on a run, the way I think of it, when I can catch my brain and be like, wait, it's an investment in time. So this morning it was like, no, this is an investment in time, in my day, in like who I'm being, in working towards my goals, in how the rest of the day is going. I'm going for that run. And it was so good. It was just like, oh, it feels so good. I've been doing a lot more strength training and getting back into running again. And I'm just loving it so much. So it feels, yeah, it's so nice when you're like practicing and keep showing up for yourself. And it's like my body feels stronger and I feel like I'm getting quicker and just more relaxed doing it. And I feel like I'm back in a flow. So that's been my morning so far. Also, I finally got replacement batteries for these mics. Honestly, it's been probably 6 months or something. I like, if you've listened to these podcasts where I'm like, wait, I'm just going to check my mic, or where I've been recording podcasts and it's like, I thought the batteries were fully charged, but they maybe weren't holding their charge. I'm like chatting through and I go to edit it and literally the sound has just dropped out. And you think I might have ordered them at the time and been like, right, I'm going to pause everything and order new mics. Like this is a key part of like my business and doing the podcast and like coaching clients. The number of times they're like, I can't hear you anymore, Hazel. It's like so unprofessional. So finally, I actually just bought them. And it wasn't that I didn't want to buy new batteries or do anything like that. I think it was like every time I went to replace them, I was like in a session or in a podcast or doing something. And then afterwards, I would just completely forget. And then sometimes I'd remember and I wouldn't actually buy them. Anyway, I've got them and it's so nice to see like 3 bars. They're like super high capacity. So hopefully if I keep them charged, then I won't have to have the fear, because it's quite unsettling when it's like trying to focus on something and then wondering like, is my equipment going to cut out? Like that is not the way to live my life. So I just want to offer also for you, like, are there any really simple things that you could do or change that would just completely shift like the amount of, I'm trying to even think how to explain it, like the amount of headspace and energy that it's taking up, if it could be like a really simple fix? Like what are some of those things? I've talked about this before in the podcast, but like a few years ago, we were in Chamonix, but like working and just like having a holiday out there. And I hadn't been drinking. And I was like, maybe we're in France, like I'll maybe drink. And it was like just the amount of like thoughts and like negotiating with myself and figuring out. And it was this like constant cycle of like, okay, will I have a wine or a beer? Wait, if I have this, then this. Okay, am I having 2 drinks? Am I having one? Are we drinking now or will I wait till later? Will I have one with dinner or not? What am I doing tomorrow? Do I want to get up and run? Then maybe I won't have a drink. Like literally, it was like ongoing. And eventually I was like, I'm just not going to drink. It was so much easier. It's like, it's almost like, what is that one decision that you can make? Or what is the one thing that you can change that just stops the like, what if this? What if this? What if this? Oh, this, oh, this, like all of the stuff of the like figuring things out. It's like, for me, it was just easier to be like, I'm just not drinking at all. And then I was like, oh, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not even trying to negotiate and not even have that headspace. The batteries feels a bit like that for me. Although I maybe didn't catch it and it didn't seem like as something as like I wasn't as aware of it as like the drinking, because it wasn't like an ongoing thing. It was like when I was in a call or when I was like podcasting, then I'd think about it and then it wouldn't be part of my day. So anyway, I just want to offer that what areas of your life could you make a really simple decision or like buy something or upgrade something or do something or get rid of something that's just going to make it so much easier. Anyway, so for today's session, I wanted to jump on here and talk about something. It's come up a few times in coaching sessions, and I did a story about it on Instagram, and there was a few of you reaching out saying it really resonated. And I know because I have done a lot of work on this myself and coached a lot of clients through it, and it still can come up for me, and I still have to like be really onto my brain and catch it. And so I just want to give all of different like my thoughts and perspectives on it, give a bit of coaching, and also give you some tools so that if you find this is happening for you, like how you can actually move through it. And I'll talk about like how to do that. It is this. And so it is like if you are, it could be in anything. Maybe you're working towards your big scary goal or like the vision you're creating for your life. And in the day to day, so this could be on like big things, but also just in the day to day of like going about your life, being like, I'm going to get these things done in a day. And this is often like how we think about our lives. It's like, what am I getting done? Which we can get onto whether that's the right question to ask, or if it's like, what do I want to create? How do I want to be? How can I help? Like just like different ways of asking the question. But often it's like, okay, what am I getting done today? And we have some idea and we'll like write down some list or like have an idea. Maybe it's even in our head. Maybe we don't even write down a list of like what we actually want to get done. Oftentimes we don't prioritize it. Oftentimes we don't even think like how long it's going to take. We don't think where it might rely on other people or something might take longer because we've not done it before. We also don't often account for like our energy levels, how much we slept last night, whether we're like there's information we don't know and therefore we're maybe worried about something or like holding ourselves back and we're maybe like feeling a bit of resistance to doing the things, all of that like and especially like as someone with ADHD or someone that's neurodivergent, like we can know what we want to do and sometimes it can be really hard to actually do those things because there's so much like other stuff to kind of overcome to be able sometimes to even start a task, and it can feel really daunting. And especially like in the past, if we've maybe struggled to do things or procrastinated, we can often have this story about ourselves that we're not organized, we're not good at this, like that can add extra weight. So when, you know, it's like we're going to do stuff, there can be extra like emotional baggage that we have with us that can just make it, it's not just like, cool, I'll just sit on and do this thing. It's like, for example, I'll give you an example for me. It's like, and I've done a lot of work to unpick this, but like part of a story I had was that I was really bad with money and really bad with finances, and I just wasn't good at it. I wasn't like good at financial stuff because, and again, so much of this, well, I wasn't taught it. Like we don't get taught at school. We're like, this is how you buy things rather than like, this is how you invest. This is how you save. This is how you like grow your money or take care of your money or budget. Like we don't get taught all of that stuff. If you have parents that teach you, then maybe you do, but like unless you actively teach yourself how to do it, you're not going to learn it. And so also with ADHD, like I can be impulsive with things in terms of like buying stuff or spending money. And again, I've done a lot of work on that. So that doesn't like happen as much anymore, but in the past. And also I can find it really hard to like things, even I remember at uni, like ignore like paperwork would come in, bills, I would take out like a credit card and then like forget about it, not have set up a direct debit. There would be like some money to be paid. I'd be a bit like, oh, the bills would come in. It was almost like, too much like admin. I can't like do it now. I'll go do something fun instead, forget about it. Reminders would come in. There was a lot of stuff of that, of like having an identity, especially around uni, where it was like, I'm not good with money. I'm disorganized. I forget to cancel things and I like pay late fees on things. I take out credit cards and forget about them. And then the like interest goes up. Like all of this, I had a lot of evidence for me just not being good with money and almost just like ignoring it. But for me, that's like a key story that I've had. And so I'm trying to even think where I'm going with this. Like, why is this even relevant? It was definitely about like getting things done. Anyway, when they're like, so for example, if I have tasks or things to do, especially with like running a business, and I've done a lot of work on this now, but like tasks around like expenses, taxes, like all of these different things, like messaging the accountant, like any of that stuff, I feel a lot of resistance to it. So there's the emotional baggage. It's not because of the task. Like the task itself, sometimes it's like literally is like, click, I need to like approve something or like do something. Like the task itself isn't actually like a quote unquote big deal. Like it doesn't take a lot of time. It's the emotional baggage with it of like, I'm terrible at money. I can't do this. That like all of that comes up and I just feel so much shame and feel really heavy. And that stops me, can stop me and like has stopped me in the past from actually doing stuff that could take a few moments. And there's so many other examples of that. It's like if you're going to start a project that maybe you've not done before, or you're doing something and you don't really have all the information and someone's maybe not been clear, but like you don't want to ask a question, like all of these things, it's the emotional baggage that come with it of like the story we're telling ourselves from whatever's happened in the past and like how we feel about the thing we're going to do. That's what creates the resistance. And that's what often can add in like either delaying, putting stuff off, or things taking longer, or just like ignoring stuff and wanting to do the fun, like easy, quick wins, but actually ignoring the stuff that we know is important, or maybe having the hard conversation, like sending the email, saying the deadline on something's shifted, or whatever, like the bigger things that we don't want to do. So just basically wanted to give some flavors of like, we can have this to-do list of like stuff that we think we want to get done in a day. And as I said, like, it's not like we're even deciding what's a priority or like putting a time next to it or just, or like thinking about the other stuff. Like often on our to-do list, we don't have like shower, eat our lunch, like go get cups of tea, reply to emails, or like interact with people and not just be robots and like get things done during the day. And so even, and on top of all of this is like societal, I don't want to say norms, societal stories. It's all stories. Often the way that we are fed in from society, especially in this capitalist society that we are in, which is like humans, we are resources and we are to be productive and like producing output. And often we can tie our self-worth, especially when we're neurodivergent, tie our self-worth to how much we get done. Okay, so this is the key thing. It's like with all of this, we not only are we like setting ourselves up for quote unquote failure by having these like crazy long lists of what we think we should, quote unquote, should be able to get done in a day, often with this like we have in our mind of this like perfect person version of us that's just like doesn't go to the toilet and doesn't have a snack and doesn't ever feel a bit like, I don't want to open the email and I'm feeling a bit scared about this. Like any of that stuff, they just are like, they do these things. And again, maybe that's like in a more like neurotypical way. And it's like, especially as people like as neurodivergent folks, it's like, that's not how our brains work. That's not how we are. Like we are variable. We feel a lot, like our energy levels are variable. And when we are not taking account of this, when we're having this like crazy high expectation of what we can get done, and then we're not meeting it, that's when often we can start telling ourselves that we've failed. Okay. And so like for me, this used to show up. It would be like, I'd be getting things done. Oftentimes I would be putting so much energy and focus into things for my job of like, these are the things I have to get done. And there would be deadlines and there would be like meeting all of those things that I have like no energy left for the life stuff of like tidying the flat, like when I lived in the flat and like doing the dishes or like stacking the dishwasher or unloading the dishwasher or like putting on a like load of laundry and actually remembering to take it out or like any of that stuff. So people at work would get all of me like, okay, this is like all of me. I'm getting my things done. I'm doing all this. And then at home, like outside of work, it would literally just like felt like it would almost fall apart. I was just like, I have like no energy left to do all these things. But I had on my to-do list, do all these perfect things at work and show up like this and tick, 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 and get all this in and send all the emails and do all the things. I'd be exhausted. And then it would be like, and then I'm going to have cleaned the kitchen and sorted this and hung up a washing and like organized this cupboard. And I just wouldn't have the energy to do it. I would be like in bed, absolutely exhausted. And yet what I was telling myself, because I didn't do the dishes, that I was a failure. And it's like, again, says who, says what, like what was I comparing myself to, how I thought I should be of like, get all the things done at work on time and everything's like that's great and the flat is all like perfect and lovely and I have like this amazing energy levels and then I go for a run and I do all of these things and then it's this like perfect day. And it was like I wasn't accounting for life for like and I didn't know I had ADHD then at the time. I didn't know I was neurodivergent, but like I wasn't accounting for the fact that I was tired or that I'd used all my energy up at work and I didn't have enough to do this stuff at home or whatever it is. And so I just want to offer like however this is showing up for you, maybe it's like even in a work sense, you've got things that you wanted to get done in a day and you haven't done, say you maybe had like 8 things on a list and you did 7 of them. Now, also because our brain has a negativity bias, meaning it's going to be, it like scans the world and it's looking for danger. It's like looking for like, okay, how can it protect us? It's looking for the unknown, looking for things that could go wrong. So and again, this is part of the work like we do with coaching and that I've mentioned before in this podcast is like we can retrain our brain to focus on like all of the wins, all of the things we've done, how amazing it is, like what we already have, even though the default is for it to go to what we don't have, what we've not done, that one mistake we made, the one thing we didn't do, it will automatically go there. So we can retrain it, but like that's where it's going to go. And so, yeah, you might have done 7 out of 8 things on this like completely unrealistic list that you were actually never going to do those 8. Like, never. It was almost like you were setting yourself up for failure. You didn't know it. But because of these high expectations of what you quote unquote should be, it's like, I'll do all these 8 things and I'll feel amazing doing it. And then I'll just have this lovely evening. And so it's like the one thing you didn't get done. So for this example the story I was sharing, it was like the dishes. That would just spin me out. I'd be lying in bed and all I could think about was that I hadn't done the dishes. Not all the people I'd helped during the day, all the like amazing report stuff I'd written and submitted, or all the like meetings I'd had and like whatever, and all the other stuff I'd done, and like how I'd been an amazing friend and a person and showed up. It was like I didn't do the dishes, therefore I have failed. Now, you could say like, okay, I've failed. Like, so what? And even like for some people, the word fail and failure can be very triggering. And for other people, it can be like, yeah, I failed, that's it. So we can actually dive a little bit deeper. So it's like, okay, like, so what if we fail? Like, so what if we haven't done one thing? And if we dive deeper under that, what's usually under there, the like core belief is I'm a failure. And that's what's sitting under it. So it's like, I didn't do the dishes. I failed on my like list of the day or whatever, that one thing you don't do. I failed. But actually, what's sitting under it, what feels really, really like, ugh, is I'm a failure. And the reason it feels so like, ugh, it's like right to your core is because when we think I'm a failure, it makes us feel shame. We're basically telling ourselves we have this belief that there's something wrong with me because I didn't do the dishes, because I didn't get everything done on this list that I thought I would. There's something wrong with me. And I went through so much of my adult life not realizing that this was like what was going on at the core of me and like what I was thinking. And again, because I had ADHD, like I had I had so much more evidence that like I had failed at things or I wasn't good at this or I hadn't done this thing. Also, I had loads of evidence of amazing stuff that I had done. I just wasn't focusing, my brain wasn't focusing on that. And so I would just go into these shame spirals. I would like hide under the duvet. Like I could not, it's like I couldn't face myself. And then I would go into these like spirals of dark thoughts of how I'm a failure and how every other thing I would pull up all the other things I'd failed at and all the other people I'd like let down and all the other things I wasn't good at and how I'd never be this. And it's like when we're in that place and we're feeling shame and we're in the shame spiral, like our brain, it goes round and round, it'll find all the other evidence. And it's like we just go down, down and want to like hide. And shame makes us want to just like hide and curl up and just be like, oh, deep breath. And I just want to offer that if this is you, deep breath, okay? Deep breath together. First of all, like I just want to send you a big hug because I have been there and I know what it is like and it feels really hard. And I also want to offer that by listening to this podcast and even just like having this awareness, Like, that is everything. Like, once you can understand like your own brain and the stories that it's attaching and why it's attaching those stories and why it's doing what it's doing, it's like, oh, we can kind of drop back a little bit and be like, wait, is this true? And it's like we can see it as a story. Whereas before it was like, I'm a failure, blah, 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 and that's it. And then it was actually that it was around that time that I had like my first, I was diagnosed with like depression, anxiety, burnout. And this was like 2019, had my first ever like therapy and was unpicking some of this stuff. And it was like, oh yeah, I have these like crazy, crazy high standards for myself that are never going to be realistic. I would never ever impose on anyone else. I would never expect anyone else to live up to. Yet when I don't live up to them, I am so horrible to myself. And I would never say these things to anyone else. I would never be so horrible to anyone else. Like some of the things we say to ourselves, we would never say to anyone. And so it's even just realizing that it's like, okay, maybe this is a story that I can decide I want to change. And I just want to offer that you can. 100%. One of the first things to really understand, well, there's the awareness piece, which you now have. Like if you are like, oh, I feel like really heavy when I haven't done something. And then you can be like, oh, yeah, I'm telling myself I failed. I'm telling myself I'm a failure. I'm feeling shame. I'm like beating myself up. I just want to hide and like curl up and like just not show my face. It's like, oh, this is what's happening. So the awareness is everything. And you have that now. And even just building awareness like in moments and being like, oh, interesting, here we go. And seeing like what are those key moments? Because sometimes we have like triggers or certain things that will bring this up for us. And the other key piece is like, okay, yes, there's this like really high standard that we set on ourselves that we internalize from society and like capitalism of like producing and tying our self-worth to producing. So it's like if we're not producing, we're not worthy, as in we're a failure. There's something wrong with us. That's the like the connection our brains made. Also at school, like we're taught, okay, do all these things, get an A, like this is how you do it. Like failing is bad, making mistakes is bad. And we are like trained from a young age to fear failing and to fear making mistakes, to fear not doing stuff, to fear getting things wrong. Like we have that fear built in. And so it's almost like, oh no, I can't, because then something is wrong with me, is like how our brain story goes. So there's so many reasons that you might be doing this and that your brain is doing this on default, and you can 100% change it. So awareness is the first thing, even just being like, oh, okay. And then just getting curious. So it's like, what if, like, what if this is just a story? Like, once we can detach ourselves from it and be like, oh, and one thing that can really help with this, and again, this is something that like I do with my clients with coaching, is like really getting clear what the facts are. Because oftentimes it's like, yeah, I'm failing and I'm failing. And it's like, once we can slow our brain down and be like, what are the actual facts? And it might be like, okay, there were 8 things on a list and you did 7. So it's like, remind me how that means that you're a failure and there's something wrong with you. And it's like when we can actually give the facts and like present them really neutrally, it's like, oh, okay. Like we can see, we're like, oh, it's things on a list. Like it's some things, it's a plan I made, some things I wrote down that I literally just guessed in the morning, was like, cool, I'll do these things. And yet now I'm using this thing that I made up like a few hours ago as a way to say that somehow I'm not good enough and I'm a failure. Like I am not a good person, I'm a failure. It's like, oh, and so we can almost see the like the jump that our brain makes. It has a story anyway that like we're a failure, there's something wrong with us. And it's looking for evidence for that. So anything we don't do, any like mistake we make, any of that, it's like, see, you're a failure. See. So it's finding all the evidence for it. So it's even just knowing this and dropping back. And then the next piece is just like coming at it with so much love and compassion, because oftentimes when our brain is doing this, we can be scared. Like that's why we're kind of reacting, and then we can start beating ourselves up. And like the things that, again, that we would say to ourselves, we would never say to anyone else. And that just like makes it worse. That just makes us want to hide even more. And so if we don't get something done, if you make a mistake or like something happens, if you can just, even though you want to be like, I'm like, have the more negative self-talk, if you can just like almost give yourself like a hug and just being like, you're doing really well, or like, you're doing the best you can. And like, that's something that really helped me shift it was like, I, first of all, knowing all the stuff that I said at the start of like, it's a made up list. I didn't even put a time. I didn't even plan it properly. I didn't even break it down. I didn't account for life and everything happening. I didn't account for energy levels. I didn't account for like the basic stuff of being a human, like going to the toilet, having breaks, having chats with colleagues or whatever, and actually just like being a human, having lunch, having snacks, going to the toilet, like having tea breaks. Like I wasn't counting for that. And it's like, and yet I am like beating myself up for this thing. So first of all, it's the like, oh, it's just this made up thing. Then I get to decide what I want to make it mean about me. And when we can have compassion, when we can just like love on ourselves, even though we're like, oh, I really wanted to do all those things. And it's like, I didn't. And it's like, I know, and you were doing the best you could. And like, just, you're doing really well. And we could just be kind to ourselves. What that unlocks is being able to actually like learn from it. So being able to be like, okay, what would I do differently next time? It's like, well, maybe I didn't account for life stuff I wanted to do in the day. I was so focused on like getting these things done at work that I wasn't like building a life. And I was so exhausted after putting everything into work that I wasn't like, oh, wait, I could do these things during the day or go out for a walk or whatever the thing is. Or like maybe I could write out my list for the day and then half it and be like, okay, what am I doing? Or like, what is one thing I'm going to do for today? And like focus on that. And then some other things that could be really fun. Or like one thing that's a like, yes, this, and other like maybes. Or maybe it's telling yourself, I could do these things today. Thinking of it like a menu of like, and then I'll see which ones resonate with me. Or taking it a step further and being like, okay, what is the key, like important ones? Focusing on like really getting time in for that, creating lots of space and creating nice stuff around it and like stuff that's going to bring you joy and energize you throughout your day as well. And the stuff you like that lights you up that feels really fun. And then actually putting it on your calendar. So being like, how long is this actually going to take? And like, again, when I do this work with my clients, often they'll start from like, okay, these are all the things I want to get done. And when they start really being clear how long they want to give these things and putting it on their calendar and getting really clear with it, it's like, but I can't get all these things on. And it's like, yeah, that's the point. You were never going to get them all done anyway. And yet you would have probably used them to beat yourself up. So even just knowing like, again, how can you learn from what has happened and make it just more realistic, make it more human, make it more fun, make it more playful, and just like learn from it and actually be like, okay, what am I doing next time? Or like, how could I make this more fun? How could I focus more? What was really going on there? What did I need in those moments? Why wasn't I getting these things done? What was that all about? And also the final piece I just want to add is a reminder that even though in society and like just growing up, we start to attach, hang on, I'm going to have a drink of water. It is warm in here. So even though with society and like we grow up and we often internalize and we don't even realize we do this, we attach our self-worth to how productive we are, the results we get, the goals, the outcomes. And if we're not hitting them, if we're not getting the outcomes we thought we might, we think there's something wrong with us. So parking that for a sec. You are not what you get done. Okay, I'll say it again. You're not what you get done. You are infinitely, infinitely more than that. Infinitely more than that. Like when you think, and I always think back to like my son who is like, I don't like love him more or less if he like gets something done. Just him being him, like he lights up any room he's in just by being him. Like I love being in his presence when we're playing, when we're being silly, when he's just being like the essence of him, like this amazing tiny human. Like he's not what he gets done. Like he never is and he never will be. And you are the same. You just maybe have forgotten it or you've been conditioned to forget it. Like there's your essence, your like sparkly, amazing humanness of how you are like a kind friend or parent or colleague or partner or whatever you like person in this world. And it's like people will not love you more if you take a few things more off your to-do list or less. And like, so don't love yourself even more or less if you tick things off or not. Like, it's not even comparable. Like, you are enough exactly as you are, just by being you, just by being who you are in the world is enough. And it has nothing to do with your to-do list and how many things you get done. And like, again, that's for another podcast, but like, is that even the right question of like thinking about getting things done? It's like, there's so much more to life to experience when we don't think about just like ticking things off, getting things done, and we can actually like enjoy each moment and like truly see like nature and abundance and like everything that's all around us and connecting with others. Like that is what it means to be a human, to be a person, to be in this world, moving through the world. Like, fuck to-do lists. Like, yes, okay, and I do like there's an element of like focusing and being like, okay, these are the things and that's it, but not to the point that like this piece of paper or whatever is going to determine what you think about yourself and how amazing you truly believe you are, and like whether you think you're a failure or not. Like some thing you made up a few hours ago, that does not determine how amazing you are. Like you're infinitely like amazing and sparkly and vibrant and like the essence of you. It has nothing to do with a list of to-dos and how many you get done. Nothing to do with it. And I know society will try and convince you otherwise. And I know these beliefs are deep, but like it's come up for me in the last few days where I'm like, have this like, oh, I just feel like I want to like hide. And I'm like, what is going on? And it's like, oh, it's because I didn't get this thing done. And I'm making it mean that like, I'm a failure, I'm a terrible business owner. And it's like, actually, and I was chatting to Luke and I was like telling him a bit about it. And I was chatting through what I did get done for the day. I was like, oh, so much. But also it's like, also who cares about like getting things done? Because like the other day I was feeling a bit more tired and I actually just needed to go for a nap. And it's like, when we can just have compassion for ourselves and just be like, it's okay to rest. It's okay to step away. It's okay not to get all these crazy things done. So just coming back and focusing on like, okay, what are the most important? What are the most impactful? How can you make it playful? How can you build joy into your day? How can you just like put in some maybes like, oh, it could be fun to get this thing done and not be like, I have to get these things done. And if you don't, or like if you make a mistake or something doesn't go how you planned, just like dropping back, feeling all the feels, being so kind to yourself, and just remembering that like you are so much more than you get done, so much more. And that is not why you were here in this world, to like get things done. You are here to like lift others up and just like be the amazing, inspiring, caring, like kind, world-changing person that you are. And when you focus on that, like you will get things done and they'll be more impactful because you'll just be feeling so much better. Everything will feel easier. Everything will feel lighter. And it won't be like, I have to get these things done. It'll just be such a different, like flowier place. So there we go. And I'm sending you so much love. Let me know any thoughts on this, or if any of that resonated, or if there's any other bits that you want like support or any like specific, I guess, kind of coaching around for these episodes, let me know. But yeah, hope you're having an amazing day and I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye. Mwah. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If this was helpful, please hit subscribe and leave a review. This helps get this work in the hands of more purposeful people. That is, more people creating bigger, scarier goals, making an even bigger impact in the world. And if you want to take this work deeper and work with me directly, head to the show notes and I put all of the information there. If you've got any questions or if there's anything you're like, ooh, I'd love you to talk about that on the pod, please just get in touch. I love hearing from you guys. And I'll see you next time in the Scary Goals Club.